I'm here in Cologne at the German premiere of the film Operation Napoleon, and my guest is Vivian Olafsdottir, who plays Kristin in the film. Can you tell me a little bit about your character?
Kristin, as we say in Icelandic, she is a well-educated modern woman, and she's really dedicated to everything that she does. She's really private. She's a sort of a loner because of her childhood and childhood trauma, possibly. She keeps herself to herself. But there's this one person that is her favorite person in the whole world, and that is her brother, and she really cares for her. This is like a really small family unit, so that's basically, yeah, she cares a lot for that.
And how did you come on board on this film? Was it a traditional casting?
Yes, it was a traditional casting, and me and Oscar, the director, know each other. I mean, it's some few years that we know each other. Yeah, traditional casting, but I won.
It's good for the film. And when you first read the script, what attracted you most that made you want to do this film?
First of all, I love these. I mean, I grew up with the 80s, 90s movies where you have like these actions. You have Indiana Jones, for example. I mean, these Spielberg movies, these Hollywood blockbuster movies. So that was something that I was really excited to step into. And yeah, and all the action.
When I was preparing for this interview, I realized that I've seen you a couple of times already. I saw you in Cop Secret by Hannes Thor Halldórsson, or in Black Sands or Journey, the two series from Baltic Spurlosen. How was working with all these different directors?
I actually love working with different people. In every project becomes sort of like this, its own community, society, you can say, and. I mean, I'm probably just really lucky, but I have really good experience with every of these different directors. So it was just a really good experience, and yeah, I cannot complain.
But is it always the same process, or does it differ with a different director?
Oh yeah, I mean they have their ways. Like I said, it's sort of like every project has its own kind of a language, and of course directors work different.
And how did you prepare for this role? Did you completely rely on the script, or did you do your own research, if that's even possible with a fictional character?
Yeah. Well, I read the book that Arnaldur wrote, GLETSCHERGRAB. So, but, you know, it's always this dialogue that you have with the director. So I read the book, but from there I picked out some pieces and I built up the character from there. And also like through dialogue with the director. So yeah.
Because mostly the scripts and the novel differ because you can't film everything that's in the book.
Totally, and the book and the script is actually, they're quite different. And so, but there are some like juicy character bits in the book that I could really play with. Though lots of things in the storyline were changed, so.
Okay, let's talk about the Icelandic film community. I'm always surprised how many wonderful and lovely films come from such a small country as Iceland. Do you have an explanation why there are so many lovely, wonderful films? What's so special about the Icelandic film community?
Well, this is a good question. I think we live in an island and there's always darkness. So I mean we have to do something to have a good life and enjoy it, and we are really creative. There is a lot of energy in Iceland overall, and a lot of artists come from there and are thriving. So yeah, well, the film industry, like just especially, I don't know. I just think in general the art, like the people who work with art in Iceland are really creative.
Okay. This year I'm finally planning on visiting Iceland for the first time. So,
you should.
Yeah. What places do I need to see besides all the touristy spots? Or what are your favorite places in
Oh, okay. Well, I would definitely go to the north. So, like, we have a second capital. It's called Akureyri. So, like, there in the north, I love the north. It's really good, and the energy there it's really powerful.
Okay. On your Instagram, I saw that you saw a post there where you were saying that you always do your own stunts.
Yeah, well, most of them.
Yeah, that's a question, because is it always possible, or do you sometimes run into insurance problems?
I mean, definitely. I mean, we had like our stunt manager on set, junge, and he many times had to just like, no, just stop me. Like, no, Vivian, just like step aside. You know, we know you can do it, but you know that's not the thing. We just have to make it safe. I really love, this is something that I love in my job, like the physical things. It's really challenging, and I probably would do it like mostly, like all of it, but sometimes it's just risky, so I just have to step aside, but I love doing it.
Another thing I found on your Instagram was that you saw many photos with you and Wotan Wilke Möhring and the director during the shoot. It looked like you had a wonderful time during that. How was it?
Yes, I really enjoyed working on this film, and some great people who are like, I mean, the whole team was just really, really talented and good and really professional. The actors were, of course, these great big actors, and me and Wotan, for example, we had loads of fun. He is a really funny guy. Yeah.
And when you look back at the shooting, what do you remember the most?
It's a difficult question because there are so many elements that are really like special. So you have like the whole shooting on the glacier. You coming here to Germany and like big studios, and then of course, you know, these really how do you say it in English? Really experienced actors to work with. So these are like the things maybe that were the biggest things that I remember.
At the Nordic Film Days in Lübeck, which is a festival about Nordic films, last year one of your greatest filmmakers was awarded with the homage section, which is Fredrik Thor Fredriksson.
Ja, Fredrik Thor.
And he's such a lovely guy and such a wonderful storyteller. Do you have any memories of him, or maybe even with him?
Yes, I do. One of like, so I know him, but just like many years ago, and it was a really he is a really great entertainer. So we were out this one night, and there was like it was a huge group of people, and we got like this huge table, and everybody sitting and chatting and having a good time. But in the end of the evening, it was just like him, and he was sitting in the end of the table, and you know, he was telling all these great stories and and you know, it was really nice. And you know, in the end of the table with this huge amount, like, so it was a really big group of people. So he was like really in his element and was like sort of like some kind of a holy man in the end, you know, and doing his thing. And it was really enjoyable. He's a really nice guy, really nice.
He is indeed.
Oh yeah.
So tonight's the big German premiere of the film. What do you expect from tonight's screening?
Well, what do I expect? That it goes well, technically. I expect that from German people. But I really hope that people just enjoy it and just gonna have some fun. That's what it's all about.
And what about the future? Is there anything you can already talk about? Any new projects?
Actually, yes, there are, but they're Icelandic though. Actually, one is, there's this author called Yrsa. She writes criminal novels, and she's also a bit known here in Germany. So they're gonna do a series. So I'm gonna be acting like a psychiatrist who is working with the police. So it's like this Scandinavian noir style of a kind of series. So yeah, that's the next thing.
It sounds interesting. Thank you very much for the interview. Good luck with the film and good luck with tonight's premiere.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.